What is your vision in leading CEC?
First, it is a great honor for me that the governing board elected me General Secretary of the Conference of European Churches in March this year. This is a great pleasure for me, but it is certainly also a great challenge. I have already been professionally involved with CEC and have followed the history and development of CEC since years. From the very beginning, I always was drawn to CEC as a bridge builder. When CEC was founded, the primary aim was to maintain peace between East and West through the Iron Curtain, to stay in contact, to make peace possible. And I have the impression that this vision is very topical again. With Russia's war against Ukraine and the associated geopolitical consequences, in the withdrawal of some governments from the commitment to the European integration process, back to nationalism that we thought had been overcome in Europe, and then the polarization in our societies, which is associated with a great deal of aggression, of anger, hatred, and defamation. These are just few examples, but building bridges is once again the task of our churches today.
As a European Ecumenical Fellowship, how do you see the unique role of CEC?
My starting point is that this was worked out very well in the fundamental document Call and Witness for CEC on the way to the General Assembly in Tallinn last year. The 114 member churches of CEC come from very different denominations, traditions, regions, and contexts in Europe. They have very different histories, but we have heard, learned, and understood together that Christ calls all of us to unity, to togetherness, to come together. At the same time, all member churches in Europe, unlike on other continents, are facing the challenge of secularization. We are looking for answers for this, and we can learn from each other and support each other. And with the choice of Brussels as a seat of CEC, something else has been added. Dialogue with the European institutions, with European politics for the good in Europe, for the good of the people in Europe and beyond. This is an enormous and promising task for the churches, especially in these difficult times in political Europe. And CEC cannot do this alone. We are grateful for the cooperation with organizations with which we are linked in partnership.
What are the issues that are of utmost importance to CEC?
Well, for an international ecumenical organization, it is always central that member churches can participate and contribute in different ways to the life and work of this organization. I see this as a development of ownership. This means that the member churches experience CEC as their common organization and they can shape it together. In addition, the European elections have just taken place. The European Commission is in the process of reorganizing itself. The European Parliament is currently being constituted. Which policy areas will be given particular weight? Which persons will be responsible? And how can we as CEC enter into dialogue with them about issues that are important to us for Europe? And what topics and European discussions can and do we as CEC want to contribute to? And unfortunately, the Russian war against Ukraine remains a priority. With Pathway to Peace, CEC is working intensively to understand together what a Christian peace ethics is in these times, and how CEC can help build bridges between churches and societies and stand in solidarity with the people in Ukraine who are suffering so much from the war. Finally, as General Secretary, I must add that we of course have limited resources at our disposal and must work with the governing board to develop how these can best be utilized.
How do you maintain a sense of hope?
Well, of utmost importance in all of this is that we as churches and Christians be a witness to the trust and hope that God has given us humans in the crucified and risen Christ our Lord in middle of all worries we experience.